this is Medha from WazirX, and I'm here today to talk about the campaign Humans of Crypto that we launched in the month of March. The campaign was launched with the idea that we will learn about stories of people from various diverse, socioeconomic conditions or in geographic locations, and how they kind of perceived crypto and what did they make out of it and how it transformed their lives. I mean, while we hear a lot of the negatives about what crypto is or isn't and why is it like not to be accepted or not accepted or should be accepted, there are several narratives at play. But let's understand the people who are actually in it, why are they in it, right? And that kind of helps us understand the entire ecosystem a little better. So keeping that in mind, we started this campaign to kind of understand what is actually truly resonating with people when they actually get invested so deeply in crypto. Here are some highlights that have come about from the 9 episodes that we've shot for Humans of Crypto, which could probably tell you why exactly these people are invested in crypto. I hope you enjoy them.
When somebody in India, I think, bought a Bitcoin, the exchange would actually send them a coin that looked like a coin. It was a gold coin that they would send. Not a real gold coin, but it looked like a coin. So that was sort of a token or a souvenir of one purchasing the Bitcoin. And I was fascinated that what is this thing, although it was just like a token of how the coin is. But that's the first time I saw Bitcoin, and at that point in time I was just still exploring what it was, but really got into it more when I started working in the space, building products and getting involved in the marketing.
So the funny thing about Bitcoin is that it just doesn't teach you about Bitcoin as an asset or as a currency, but you have to, if you really want to get into it, you have to learn everything from how economics works, how different kinds of monetary forms work, how actually people make money. All those things you have to learn and understand, and you have to put it in perspective, and then you realize the need for decentralized digital currency, and that's when you sort of seeing the value in Bitcoin. So it took us, I think I got into Bitcoin at the end of 2017, but truly, be really convinced that this is a good thing, that happened maybe 6 or 8 months down the line.
So I first heard about crypto, the first instant with the crypto was very casual. My sister used to work in Barclays back in 2014, and she introduced me to the concept of crypto for the first time in 2014, and I was in college by that time. So she told me, okay, just look into things. This is the new internet fad or something, just look into it. I read a lot of things about it and I understood mining. So I thought, let's set up mining in my hostel room, because electricity is free in my hostel room, and we'll have, at that time, we'll have, unlimited internet bandwidth in my college. So I'm a PEG graduate. So we decided to set up a mining farm in my hostel room because internet was free and we'll have unlimited bandwidth, because bandwidth was very costly at that point of time.
It was just interesting. I was like, this is a great place, and this is a great community to be a part of. And I've always been, pro artists making good amount of money. So I remember even when I had started out, my father was very apprehensive. He was like, you're going to be very poor and all of that. And I said, don't worry, I'm going to make sure that no matter what happens, I'm going to be a rich artist. I'm not going to be a poor artist.
Then one side project I was doing where I needed a payment system integrated, right? It's called like betting platform for movies and TV series. There I wanted to create a platform where you can go and create theories about TV series, like what will happen next and everything, and then you get money out of it if you win, right? And at the time, I wanted to plug something there, as a payment system, and I didn't want to create a bank account or legal company to start with. So I looked into the Bitcoin, right? I wanted to say, okay, hey, why not look at the Bitcoin? And then I also invested at the time, and then 2017 boom happened suddenly, right? And I got good money. I made some good money out there, and then I thought like, let's do this full time. I dropped my the side project and went full into it and started freelancing, and that's how kind of crypto journey started just before the boom, and I was lucky there because that made me some good money, right? And I got confidence in the crypto space.
I had no hope that my art would be collected by other collectors, and when my first art was collected, I was really happy, and I was surprised because it was completely new for me, and as well as for my parents and my sister, and it was really interesting and surprising. So that boost and that kind of gave me more motivation.
That an artist in India needs more support to grow and learn how to monetize their work in order to focus on their passion projects. I remember my college days, I always imagined creating something that involves working with independent artists. And in my experience, being fine art student myself, I believe that artists in India have it hard and are very undervalued. Hence, given my passion to grow this community, I am on a mission to empower and set the correct value for their artwork, which is at par with the international art market. I am a tech enthusiast and a futurist, and now I pride myself to be an NFT explorer because I believe there are unlimited use cases of NFT, and artists are just at the peak of the iceberg and coloring the beginning of a new start.
After Mark Cuban's investment in Polygon, the whole Polygon market started booming like crazy. So that time, like our TVL went to $7 million, and yes, like back then, like we were known as Polygush, then we rebranded to Gush Finance. Now we are building like different platforms like NFT staking, NFT marketplace, and NFT gallery. So these are our like next products.
So one thing was sure in my mind, that crypto as an industry, Bitcoin as a ultimate store of value is not wrong, right? So my decision was wrong. So I instantly, these thoughts, they came into my mind that, I have to be sure about it, that if I'm going to stick with this industry, I need to be 100% convinced that this industry is okay. So I was totally convinced in 2017 also that, this industry is fine. And it took a little while with the support of my family to come out of that, setback. And we kept paying our EMIs. And then whatever little saving after those paying off these EMIs, we again started our journey.
It was a year of several new experiences that only make us more stronger and build our sense of resolve. And this is exactly what probably can be applied across everything that we do for 2022. And probably that can help us understand a little more about why we need to keep ourselves always curious and stay agile and understand different new technologies and how it impacts our lives and what exactly will improve our standard of living, or what exactly should we be very grateful for, what exactly probably can harm us, and how exactly we need to rebuild our trust for all institutions. We hope that the first series of Humans of Crypto inspired or informed you in some way or the other to just stay curious and be agile at all times. See you next year and hope to have more interesting stories to share with you. Please go ahead and share this particular video in case you like it, and recommend or nominate your friends who have a story to share. Thank you.